Okay, Staff Sergeant Romeo. I'm going to be briefing you guys the op order for the LTX Prep Lab. Alright. Situation, task and organization. Force Squad, Alpha Team, and Bravo Team. Area of interest is going to be Providence College, Rhode Island College, Brown University, Bryant University, Community College, Rhode Island, Johnston, Wales, and UMass Dartmouth. Area of operations will be the Providence College campus, to include ROTC classrooms, the Peterson Gymnasium, and the surrounding areas. Terrain, Providence College grounds are made of grassy open areas with roads, sidewalks, and academic and residence buildings. Also slight rolling hills. Weather will be updated as 11 November gets closer. Civil considerations. Training will occur in an area which is highly frequented by civilians. Considerations will be made to avoid interfering with the daily activities of the Providence College campus. Cadets will be instructed to remain courteous and professional in their interactions with civilians. Enemy forces, not applicable. Friendly forces. 2 levels up. Providence College, Bravo Company. Mission, Bravo Company plans and executes the leadership training exercise prep in accordance with United States Army Cadet Command 2nd Brigade Training Guidance to posture for successful execution of the Fall Battalion Leadership Field Training Exercise, and to assure all advanced and basic course cadets have proper equipment and knowledge to succeed in a tactical field environment. Commander's intent: to prepare Bravo Company for a successful weekend of training at JBCC, which is Joint Base Cape Cod, in order to stage the battalion for future successful trainings, ultimately resulting in cadets prepared for cadet summer training. Purpose: to ensure all cadets of Bravo Company have the necessary equipment and training for a successful weekend of training at JBCC. Key tasks: ensure cadets possess all gear specified on the packing list with special emphasis on cold weather gear. Ensure cadets receive a comprehensive road to war brief. Ensure cadets receive static load training. Ensure cadets receive an M4/M16 primary marksmanship instruction training. Ensure cadets with training or equipment deficiencies are brought up to speed prior to the LTX weekend. End state: Bravo Company successfully conducts the LTX with no injuries to participating cadets. Cadet stage for follow-on training next semester, ultimately postured for the CST. Cold weather and risk factors mitigated through the weekend. Civilians appreciate the opportunity to view UH-60 Blackhawks in person on campus, positively influencing their perception of the Army. Situation: 1 level up. Bravo Company, 2nd Platoon. Mission: 2nd Platoon plans and executes the LTX Prep Lab in accordance with USACC, which is United States Army Cadet Command, Brigade Training Guidance to posture for successful execution of the Fall Battalion Leadership Training Exercise, and to assure all advanced and basic course cadets have proper equipment and knowledge to succeed in a tactical field environment. Purpose: to ensure all cadets of 2nd Platoon have the necessary equipment and training for a successful weekend of training at JBCC. Key tasks: no change. End states: 2nd Platoon successfully conducts the LTX with no injuries to participating cadets. Cadet stage for follow-on training next semester, ultimately postured for the CST. Cold weather and risk factors mitigated throughout the weekend. Civilians appreciate the opportunity to view UH-60 Blackhawks on person and campus, and positively influencing their perception of the Army. Mission: 2nd Platoon, 2nd Squad, our squad, executes the LTX Prep Lab in accordance with the U.S. Army Cadet Command 2nd Brigade Training Guidance to posture for successful execution of the Fall Battalion Leadership Training Exercise, and to assure all advanced and basic course cadets have proper equipment and knowledge to succeed in the tactical training environment. I say again: 2nd Platoon, 2nd Squad, our squad, executes leadership training exercise prep in accordance with USACC 2nd Brigade Training Guidance to posture for successful execution of the Fall Battalion Leadership Field Training Exercise, to assure all advanced and basic course cadets have proper equipment and knowledge to succeed in a tactical training environment. Execution: Commander's intent: it is my intent that Bravo Company successfully conducts LTX prep so that each cadet successfully passes 2 full equipment inspections, obtains the proper training for entering and exiting a UH-60 Blackhawk helicopter, and receives proper training on the M4, M16 weapon system, and receives a road to war brief. Purpose: to ensure all cadets of Bravo Company have the necessary equipment and training for a successful weekend of training at JBCC. Key tasks: conduct 2 full LTX equipment inspections, CNXA, prior to LTX prep on 2 November 15 and 11 November 15. Any deficiencies on 2 November should be fixed by the 2nd equipment inspection, which will be taking place on Monday. Work with the S1 to get full accountability of who is attending LTX weekend no later than 23 October 2015. Consolidate cadet sleep systems using the 2-sleep system per A-bag method on 11 November and move all equipment to the MS3 room for storage. That's very important. You will not be getting your gear back after your Monday inspection. If you do not have something, it's not coming with you, which means you will have everything. Yellow tape every cadet's rucksack, LBV or flick, and A-bag with the last name, company, and LTX platoon. End state. Bravo Company successfully conducts the LTX with no injuries to participating cadets. Cadet station follow on training next semester, ultimately postured for CST and CIET. Each cadet can be successful during the LTX weekend at JBCC. Concept of operations. Phase 1, planning and movement. Begins with the receipt of the battalion op order, followed by 2 full equipment inspections on 2 November and 9 November. The 9 November inspection to include MRE distribution and gear storage in the MS3 classroom. Update to 9 is now 11 November. Apologize, it was wrong in the op order. 11 November. Each cadet will consolidate 2 sleep systems per 1 A-bag. Yellow and red tape will be drawn to mark rucksacks, LLB or flick, and A-bags with the last name, company, platoon, and squad. Cadets with deficiencies on 9 November will have a 3rd inspection after the CWST on 11 November. This phase ends with the termination of the Veterans Day ceremony, followed by movement back to the formation site behind Father Shanley's backyard, where cadets' assault packs are staged. At this time, Cadet Captain Jovan and Cadet Captain Doyle will move to the supply room to draw M4s and M16s. Cadet Captain Walsh and Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Como will also go to their respective classes at this time to finalize preparation for the ad. The ADVOM will arrive at 1350, 11 November to set up classes. Phase 2, formation and chalk alignment. Begins after the movement back to this formation site of Father Shanley's backyard. First formation by Command Sergeant McLean, then turned over to the NCOICU Staff Sergeant Monjay. MS4 chalk leaders will be lined up in front of the formation. Cadet Staff Sergeant Monjay will then all out of the battalion, and cadets will fall in on their respective chalk leaders. This phase ends with the movement to each chalk's designated class. Phase 3, classes. Begins once cadets arrive to their designated class. There will be 2 chalks per class. The road to war brief will be at Moore Hall 1. The M4 M16 PMI class will be in the MS4 classroom, and the static load training will be in Peterson Gym, Court 1. Chalk 1, which will be led by Cadet First Lieutenant Pittman, and Chalk 2, which will be led by Cadet Lieutenant Kingsley, go in order of the road to war brief, M4 M16 PMI, and static load class. Chalk 3, which consists of Cadet Captain Shiloh and Cadet Lieutenant Cox, will go in order of the M4 M16 PMI, static load, and road to war brief. And Chalk 5, which is Cadet Lieutenant Stein and Cadet Captain Leung, will go in order of static load, road to war brief, and M4 M16 PMI. First rotation of classes start at 16:05 and end at 16:35. Second rotation starts at 16:40 and ends at 17:10. Third rotation starts at 17:15 and ends at 17:45. Class 1 will be the road to war brief, Class 2 is the M4 M16 PMI, and Class 3 is the static load training. Phase 4, which is final formation and reconsolidation, begins with the final formation at Peterson Gym, Court 1, held by Command Sergeant Major McLean at 17:15. He will then hand out the formation to the OIC, Cadet Captain DeFusco. Cadet Captain DeFusco will then give the formation back to Cadet Staff Sergeant McLean, where he will dismiss all cadets at 1800. MS4s, 2 MS1s, 2 MS2s, and 2 MS3s will report to the MS4 classroom for an after-action report. Task to subordinate units. Alpha Team Leader. Assist Squad Leader in creating transportation plan for the LTX. Purpose: to ensure all cadets have a transportation plan to get to Providence College to conduct required training. Task: conduct 2 full LTX inspections prior to the LTX prep on 2 November and 11 November. Any deficiencies on 2 November should be fixed by the second equipment inspection. Purpose: to ensure that all cadets who plan on attending the LTX have all the equipment necessary. Task: to get full accountability of who's attending LTX weekend no later than 23 October. Purpose: to ensure full accountability of all cadets in the battalion and to allow the S4 to get the numbers required for the amount of MREs and equipment. Task: consolidate cadet sleep systems using the 2 sleep system per ABAD method on 11 November. Move all equipment to the MS3 room for storage. Purpose: to ensure all cadets do not lose any gear after the final inspection and bring minimal amounts of A-bags as necessary. Yellow tape every cadet's rucksack, LBV or flick, and A-bag with the last name, company, and platoon. purpose is to ensure the organization of all equipment during storage and to and from the tactical field area of operations. Bravo team leader, no change from Alpha team leader. All your tasks and purpose are the same. Coordinating instruction, commander's critical information requirements. Any injury sustained by a cadet during training pertaining to life, limb, or eyesight. All injuries must be included in the daily PERT stat reported by Cadet Captain Nickel. Cadet failure or refusal to train for any of the training being conducted. Damage or loss of sensitive item, equipment, or a high dollar item. Failure to meet any of the prescribed critical start times for training that would cause any training to be missed or postponed. Any cadet that will miss any portion of training for any reason. And outstanding performances or instances where a cadet significantly stands out among his peers. Timeline. See the timeline. Sustainment. As far as materials and services, not applicable. Health system support. Medvac and hospitalization emergency. Call 911 or 401-865-2222. They left that number. Illness and injury. Cadet COC, which is the Cadet Chain of Command, is not authorized to excuse cadets from training for any reason. Cadets must receive authorization from cadre to miss training for any reason, and report all injuries to cadre immediately. Transportation, cadets' POVs are utilized for movement to and from Providence College. Command and signal, location of the commander. Company commander will be located at FOB Bulldog for Phase 1 and will be at FOB Veritas for the remaining phases. OIC will be located in Providence College AO for Phase 1. First formation for Phase 2, and cycling through the round